How are you? You're good?
I'm good. You have to know that I'm in Paris. I'm in an apartment, and I'm not in my studio. I've got only three markers, but just got my voice.
That's all what we need for today, your presence. Don't worry. We're
Okay.
super, super happy. Thank you for this privilege, really. And we have some of your books here. We are also in our home. We're still um,
Where are you right now? Where
we
are
are
you?
in Brazil, an hour from Sao Paulo, yeah,
Okay.
south,
1 hour.
south of
Okay.
Brazil. Okay, and I'm gonna start accepting some people here that are waiting also to meet you. Maybe some of them you might know. I'm not sure. You may have some friends also
I
coming
do
and
have a
join
lot of
us.
friends in
We'll
Brazil.
see. We'll see. It's 11 o'clock our time, so a lot of
Okay.
people are still working from home. We're
Yeah.
still in,
Yeah.
in quarantine. I guess,
Yeah.
it's not as
Are you in
bad.
quarantine? You are in quarantine?
Yeah, but it's not as bad as the news, may say. Thanks God, it depends on the state, right? Depend on where you
Yeah.
live, that you have high peaks. But we are okay. We can bear being at home. Anyway,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
our work is creative, and like sometimes we do work in a studio, but we mainly produce everything also at home, so it's okay. We can deal with it. And
Great.
let's see, sometimes it's a little bit challenge, but how is France? How's the situation?
It's a very strange situation because there's a lot of contamination. So everybody's talking of that virus, but so far everybody is still in the street with a mask, and it sounds okay. So it's very strange, you know. It's very
Yeah,
strange.
I
It's
think it's like here.
is it that serious or not? So everybody are careful, especially people like me. Young people are not careful at all, and so but it works like that so far. So let's
Yeah,
see.
yeah. I, I,
Uh,
I,
the,
I,
the
I've
develop-
seen the same thing over here, but where we live, there's more conscious about it. So people do wear masks, and they're more careful. So anyway, it's something new for the whole world. We are all, being, having to adapt. And I
Mhm.
guess that adaptability is one of the things that we have learned the most, because it's difficult for a lot of people to adapt to something new. And
Yeah,
I think that we as an artist, perhaps it's easier to deal with a situation like this. An author, uh, writes at home most of,
mm,
and sometimes they even sleep very late,
mhm.
because they produce at night all their work. But hopefully things will get much better around the whole entire world, because we need peace, and we need
Yeah.
good health, and how they call it here in Brazil, the word bem-estar, which is
Mhm.
prosperity. So anyway, okay, so we have some friends. I see Pamela, Rachel, I see Flavia, and I see Priscilla. So some of them might be from Brazil. I don't know everybody. We're going to speak in English, not in French. Perhaps one day I will be able to talk with Tullet in French. And I have a couple of questions. This is going to be dynamic, interesting conversation. This is being brought by Mercado Libros. Mercado Libros is a publishing house, and we are focused in children literacy.
Mhm.
So, and also my passion to follow your work is because I'm a teacher as well. And as an elementary teacher, I believe in art and inspire and empower the children. So first of all, let me bring my questions so I can go and start asking you some things. So the first thing I have is, you have a wonderful new project. relatively new, which is the Ideal exhibition with Herve Tullet. And it says he invites young and old to unleash their creativity. What a fantastic initiative and project is amazing. So saying that, what are your thoughts? Is it true that anybody can draw at any given age, even if you start at 100 years old?
Well, I don't know. I just know that I give a proposal, but the proposal started 25 years ago with the books. And with the books, I had this kind of feeling that the book was something that could be shared by an adult and a child. So there's that dialogue with the book. So by the time I started to do a school project and then workshops and then so on. So, but the idea was remain the same, to to share to share energy. I would say share energy and share ideas. So and as you know, I'm not a very good drawer. I'm not interested by drawing. So this energy was built with kind of few shapes like scribbles, dots, and lines, and so on. So it became, and I always had this idea to share, to convey ideas. So I come up with one, and also because there were more and more audience, more and more people reading my books, asking me to come in their place, and so on. So I always had this kind of idea to find a way to share my work, even if I'm not here. So that development came to this ideas exhibition because I had this opportunity to record videos. So this is my purpose. I don't want to know if everybody can or cannot, but I can just say that this vocabulary is very, very simple, and it's very free, and there is no uh, purpose, there is no big deal, there is no thing to do very, very, very precisely. And I think that it gives a lot of freedom and joy and opportunity to create without any it's not demanding.
Yeah. No, that's great. I noticed that you used the word experiment, because art, it's an experiment, and art is subjective. So there's nothing to worry about if you made a mistake, because a mistake can be part of that composition. And you invite, in that way, everybody to participate in, getting colors and just make their day brighter. I think that is one of the things that I like about your videos and your compositions, because at the end of the day, you make people happy.
Yeah, I know that.
So that is so nice. That is so nice. And honestly, when I read, that you yourself consider that you don't know how to draw, I was thinking last night, is it, a profound and philosophical, an accepting way to describe your aptitudes, or is it being humble, or is it both? Because at the end of the day, you create, your own art, and you're not scared. You're not, you are above and beyond passing through criticism. And I think that that's one of the barriers or fears that everybody experience.
Yeah, I agree. Um, this is my art, but I don't want all the children to become artists. It's not about that. But
Mhm.
I think that something happened is that all over the world, I would say, I feel that children they've got a lot of pressure. And they know when adults are coming and they are coming to say, now you're going to learn how to read, how to count, and whatever, and so many things. And the proposal is just to give a free space without any big stake. That's very important, and I think it's a very good way to learn too, because we are not obliged to learn all the same thing at the same time. So it's just to create a space, but with that space and create this connection with yourself and with the group too, because it's a very collective experience too.
Yes.
There is a individual part. You discover yourself, but you build with the others. And and yes, I think that this is a way people could live together. So it's not only about art; it's more about the way you could figure out to create your shells later on to create your life. So it's more about life, and this is my art. So as an artist, this is what I express. But I don't want all the children to become artists, but I give them tools. And the tools are so simple that they can get rid of the drawing part, because everybody say I'm not a good drawer, I will not succeed, I don't know how to draw. But in that case, there is nothing to draw, it's just scribbles and dots and some colors. So there is nothing. So the base is very, very simple. So let's start and let's see what we can build together. We can find ourselves as individual and as a group. But everything is okay because it's just a paper, and it's just a paper you read from, and this is it. There is nothing here. But there is time we share together, we spend time together, and there is an ambition, because how long time are we going to stay together? Are we going to build something just for 10 minutes, or are we going to spend time? Are we going to invite a big space, or what do we do? So that's your own responsibility, and that's why the ideal exhibition is here. It's free, and it's just for you to decide what you want to do with it. And this is my pleasure, because my pleasure is that I receive emails or Instagram or Facebook stuff, and I receive some wonderful pictures of happy people that have been working and have been getting really strong feeling, and they give me this feeling, and that's just amazing.
This is amazing. It's truly amazing. And one of the things that you said, this place, the people enter for free, or there's a fee. You said it's free, or
The access to the videos is free.
the videos are free, but
The
the
videos,
place, the physical place, there's a fee that you pay to enter in the space. No,
usually it's a free project when
it's a free project.
when I'm performing, when I'm doing my own ideal exhibition. So I'm invited by a gallery or a museum. I'm paid. But also there's some, we call it ambassadors, so people that are very, very good at the ideal exhibition because they've been doing an ideal exhibition here or there. And so these people are also free, even to build project and to make their own money. It's not a money, it's not related to any kind of money.
It's more like a philanthropic work, basically.
We could figure out at what point, and because I say we because I work mainly with my son on it, but at
Nice.
some point, and it's a lot of work,
Yes, yes.
but at some point I could figure out that people send me pieces they have been doing, so one or two pieces. Back, I can send my sign on a sticker or something. So they got a piece signed. I've got a piece received from them, and then we could figure out to sell these pieces.
Oh,
But if
wow.
we sell these pieces, it could be uh, for example, a school in Africa that do not have
Yeah,
any
for a cause.
means to create their exhibition. So with that money, we could create
Great.
boxes and send these boxes with paint and paper to.
Great.
So yeah,
Nice.
this is a big movement. This
A
is a big
synergy. Think about a synergy, a collaboration. I love the word that you use, collaboration,
yeah.
because that's the only way that we can all grow and we can all not just self learn, but also approach this concept and other people that are in remote places with very few resources can start taking advantage of this and they can be empowered as well. So
That's
I mean,
big.
definitely, congratulations, because we need more of these. I think that one of the things that also the pandemic brought us, and I'm not sure if I'm speaking about me or about a lot of other people, is that without art, it would be very difficult to deal with this situation
Absolutely.
because art
Absolutely.
elevates us, art inspires us, and it makes things much more easier. We can read, we can write, we can be entertained by the media as well. Um, Culturally, I'm talking about everything with the context of on the culture. And without art, it would be so sad. The world would be so sad.
Absolutely. And when you are thinking about the children are the more closest to art
Yeah,
because they are completely into intuition. They are into the moment. And this is
definitely
one of the way to consider art. So when you give this possibility to create art with the children, you are very close to the children too. And during that pandemic, there were so many people doing art with their children at home and creating their own space in their home, and it was just so
amazing.
moving, so
So
moving.
yeah, it is
Yeah.
very moving too. It's very touching. It brings you a lot of joy, a lot of happiness, and you are full of people that really appreciate and demonstrate their love.
Absolutely.
To you by sending you pictures in Instagram
Absolutely.
and
Yeah.
letters. So that's fantastic. So let me see. I have another thing here that it says. An artist of playful and uninhibited creations. Two keywords here that I found in your site that you describe yourself as being an artist, being playful and uninhibited. That is very interesting, those two words. And again, I want to reinforce that message that people have to put away the fears and do it. And, do it because it's a joy for you. And I have a dear teacher, a mentor, that she says that do art that you would like to hang that piece in your living room. So you are not pleasing others. Start from pleasing yourself and
Yes.
be on no, I don't know how to say this word very good, but it's called uninhibited, right?
Yeah.
Uninhibited. So what do you think about that?
Yeah, I think this is it. This is what happened. So I can't
Don't be
add
scared. Don't be
that. Yeah.
scared. That is awesome. And then I have here,
No, what can I add? Maybe is regularly I receive some messages of people telling me that they didn't believe really in it because as an adult, you sometimes you just don't feel really what it is. And what I can say is that the children are the one who gives the energy at first, and sometimes adults are very surprised by the way the children take over this kind of art project, and then they convince the adults that they are in a good energy together. But the time by the children too.
Who are we creating art for? You know, because I see that a lot of artists are creating art to follow a trend because that is hot in the market, but not necessarily that's their passion. And they get trapped and, you know, they cannot get back that personal voice, that personal style. Um, and they care about what other people think. So those are two questions related to the artist, and then I'll ask you the question related to the parents.
My answer would be, and it always have been that way, that I create for myself. I want to be proud of myself. I'm very selfish. I just need to get good feelings inside me, um, and and this is it. But um, um, I I know I share my art a lot, but I don't want to repeat myself. So I want to surprise myself first. But also, uh, there's people that really need art, and I discovered it a long time ago when I started, when I was younger, and I've been in very underprivileged places in France, and with my selfish and with that audience, I want to be playful for myself, and I forget where I am, and they forget where they are, and we just play together. So the game bring us to create and to forget. So this is my answer. My answer is I I I need me, and I need that energy, and I don't want to fake it, and I just want to surprise me. But when it happened for the others too, because it's in the moment. That's a very important
Yes.
characteristic in my
Yes.
work.
Yes.
My work is in the moment.
Yes.
So, and I think that because in the workshop, even in the book, it's in the moment of the reading, because there will be reaction and different reaction. So being in the moment bring something very true.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Mm-hmm.
true. We are here together and in that precise moment. And in that moment, it's something happen like, I don't know what to say, or I made a mistake. I can make a mistake. I can fall down, or I don't know. I can make a mistake, but it's in the moment. And in the moment, everybody in the audience could feel it, and everybody is a part of that moment. So it gives something very, very special, because it's we are not in life always in the moment, in the real moment, but with art, with an audience, and with okay, we are together. What do we do? Where are we going? What do we do? What do we do? Do we? And that moment is just fantastic, because it creates the life, and it creates a memory, and it creates maybe something that will be useful later in other circumstances and other people and so on.
And great connections to it, great connections. And thank you for saying the word, don't fake it.
Yeah,
because art has to be authentic. It has to come from your heart. It has to come from what you have, your feelings. It's demonstrating. It's a voice. Art is a voice, like writing. Writing, you are, putting your emotions in a paper. And also, it's a powerful tool. And both, an image and a word, combine or separate, at the end of the day, it's a message. It's a message that sometimes it comes, that message to us, and then we just leave it there for whoever wants to see it, right?
yeah,
And everybody can interpret it in different ways, and they are free to interpret it as they wish. So saying that, then I guess that an advice to the illustrators that are starting is, don't be scared of critiques. Just go for it. Because as we started our conversation, art is subjective, and what a person is going to love, another person may not see it nice, and that's where criticism comes into. But nothing is serious as to
absolutely.
take it in that way. So let me ask you another question, which is very important as a teacher and as a mom. Um, Parents today, we want that our kids are successful, but yet I believe first that they have to be happy, because if they do what they like, they eventually will be successful in what they are doing. And a lot of things that we hear is, a child wants to be an artist, and of course the first question comes, but how you're going to live, how you're going to pay the rents, how you're going to bring money to the table. So an advice from an amazing artist that you are, and that you are connected, with this gift of giving joy to children and to all children of all ages. What is an advice for parents to give, Tullet?
I don't give advice, but what I can say is that uh, again, from the first book, I discovered that the book was in the middle. The adult was reading the book, the children was receiving the story of it, but I wanted to create with the adult and the child a connection through the book, with the book, into the book. So it was there at the first book, and I think that children, I mean, they don't care about stories. They care about you reading stories. So I think the book is just a way to connect with your child. So I created my own way to create that connection with an adult and a child. There is a lot of ways. Maybe some parents use this kind of strategy, and this is what I don't like. To say, okay, we are reading a book, but in fact we are going to count, or we are going to learn about something or something. Do you remember? And this is what I really don't like. I mean, in my own work, it's connected to knowledge. Of course, it's connected to dots. There is 15 dots. Okay, so there is 15 dots. Okay, there is mix it up. There is colors, or there is sound, or whatever. But my proposal is not to learn how to count or how to mix the colors. It's not about that. Of course, I use mixing colors or whatever. So you will learn how to mix what happened when you mix blue and yellow. Okay, you will learn it, but it's not about that. It's much more about what do we do with that. It's a start. It's a beginning of something, and it's first the beginning of that dialogue with the adult and the child, and 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 where it's going. You are going to create your own reading. You are going to create your own moment, and you are not, as an adult, going to try to put in your child that knowledge. You want to put it in because you are afraid that he will not count, he will not read, he will not become a lawyer. But okay, so if you want a child becoming a lawyer, maybe there is other books, or
That is great.
even art or whatever. There is no strategy. I mean, only strategy is to read a book together and to go where you are going with that book. And it happened because people are reading my book and reading again and again, and they are always saying that it's become a ritual. It's become you are the readers, but you are a creative reader, and the child is a reader too. So that creativity by reading a book, this is what I can bring, and it's bring to unexpected, and I don't want to know where it's going, and I hope that there's other possibility to live without any stake, and the main stake is how to read, how to count, and to become a lawyer. So
No, that's fantastic. I think that, when you were talking, it's something came to my mind because I'm listening to every single word that you're saying. And you said something very interesting. I've never have heard that before. It's not about the story that children like. It's about the experience, the moment, embracing that moment, sitting with your child, opening a book and reading and being sharing that moment together. It's about the experience of opening a box of colors together and sitting on the floor without, you don't have to sit properly. You can lie down, you can put a paper on the wall and let's paint together. And if you observe as a parent that your child is having joy in that moment, those are indicators of perhaps what he's going to want or she's going to want to do when she grows up. And
yes,
one of the things that I have heard a lot from many artists is saying, I study engineering or I study business administration, whatever is a quantitative career, and
yes,
then they say, but I'm not happy doing this. I remember when I was a child, I would love to scribble, I would love to draw, and I have to bring that back. And then they actually become, illustrators. They become great illustrators because they have joy doing what they like. And I love that you said that it's important to share the book. I have one of your books here in English, press here, and my God, this book is like what, 2 million sold or more now, 2 million copies or more being sold now. I believe it's said in the article I read, 4 years on a row being in the New York bestsellers. I mean, that is a huge accomplishment. And I am curious to ask you something. By any chance, when you created this book in particular, did you had an idea that we were going to live on a digital world with ebooks and apps that are interactive? Because this book was born way before the digital books, and you're inviting kids to press here, play with the book, shake it, blow, the colors, and the colors go to one side or move it here, and they come this way. I mean, this is totally interactive, but it's a hardcover book. It's not digitalized. So by any chance, do you have futurist visions, or this is just something that happened without even knowing that there was going to exist a digital platform?
there's a lot of to say about that, but now, I mean, it was 10 years ago, and now I forget all this, and it's bring me to other ideas and experimentation, and so I'm less focused about that. But when I was 20 something years old, computers started to arrive in companies, and I was in advertising, and I hated the computers. So, and also there were a lot of debates about the end of the book because of the beginning of the iBooks and so on. So there was this kind of debate, the end of the books. And at this time, I was the soldier. I was trying to say books are very important because books, uh, when you are doing a book, you are doing something unique, or a book must be unique. So I was thinking I have to create books that can be anything else than a book. Also, because of the computers, I wanted also to say that these books were handmade, uh, and it was made by a human. And so it was definitely in my mind when I created that book. But it changed by the time because books remain books. There is no debate. Apps and digital is not that frightening everybody. And books, and especially children books, are very lively. So it brings me to other ideas, and especially the uh, how a book is alive,
Yes, yes,
and how the book is going out of the book,
yeah,
how the book is becoming, and it's the same, it's becoming a workshop with dots and circles, or it's becoming an ideal exhibition. So, so yeah, it's a different path. It's different. It's going something elsewhere. But yes, 10 years ago it was really in my mind. But now I forget about that. It's another story now.
no, definitely it's thinking outside the box. 10 years ago, this book, it was probably something that we are all familiar about, that constant think outside the box and approach the book as a toy, as an opportunity to interact with it and not just have a passive reading time.
Mhm.
And, I am curious to know, did you had difficulty to sell the idea, or did many publishers wanted to buy this book? How many rejections letters Herb has had in his life, or none?
No,
uh,
no,
I
none,
don't
but
know.
I have no rejection letters at all.
Oh, you're
Uh,
so lucky.
uh, Yeah, I'm lucky, but I work. I mean, I change a little bit, but usually I work with the same people,
Yeah,
so it's become a team.
of course, of course.
So, and also, what is very important is I've been doing that book. I was maybe I don't remember, maybe 50 something years ago. No, 50 years old. So it's been. It, it, I think what could be really difficult is to create that book as a first book, to create a book like this one as your first one. I think it's very difficult to deal with. Of course, I was surprised by the incredible success of it. A lot of publishers all over the world, nine American publishers wanted it, and all over the world, everybody wanted it. They knew there was something happening here.
Yeah,
So but to me, it changed a little bit because I've been traveling more. I received so many invitations. I was a bit lost by this kind of success. But in my mind, it was a book, but there were books before, and I created books after. So it changed my life, of course.
definitely,
It
definitely.
changed my life. I've been living in New York because of that book, and maybe I gain more freedom.
Of
Uh,
course, of
and
course.
my freedom, I invested it in new experiment and
Yeah,
creation,
yeah.
and I didn't want to stay in my beautiful armchair with my big success. So
That's great.
it changed a lot, but it didn't change my feeling that creativity is always uh, trying to find something that do not exist before. Otherwise, it's not creativity. It's something. Okay, it's just like
Yeah,
uh,
something very, very difficult to do. And especially one of the things I wanted to tell you two things is, well, this book has been translated in so many languages and it has traveled, probably all around the world. So that is amazing. Congratulations. And the other thing I wanted to tell you is that coming up with that creativity and that unique outside of the box idea, it's not easy. And in
yeah.
your work is very unique and special in the way that it's simple, but it is the most difficult way to create something in a very clean, simple, minimalistic way. And
Mm.
that is not easy. So how do you get there? I guess that's my question. How do you get to that level where less is more, and you can do this magic?
Oh, by personal interest, I love the list, of course. The least. I love John Cage, 9 minutes for 33 seconds, or I love monochromes. Or okay, I'm a bit obsessed by simplicity too. I love that simplicity, but also maybe the thing is I love ideas, and because my books are not, and I told you I'm not a good drawer, so I've got to find strategies to draw, because books need drawings, but I need strategy. So by strategy I discover these scribbles and dots. But the most important is not I mean, it's a part of the idea, scribble and dots, it's a part of the idea, but the most important is that to express an idea and to express it clearly, to make sure people will understand the idea. And my ideas is to start it from page 1 and to go to page 60, and with from one page to another you are going to see a dot and to link that dot to a sound, and to play with the sounds with the dot, or whatever. So I have to be very precise and very, very simple to clear everything off, to make sure that you get it, because it looks simple, but it's not that simple, to make sure not to lose the reader from page 1 to the others. That's
Definitely, definitely. Yes,
that's
it's
that's
a
a
task.
work.
It's a task. Yeah, it's a work, right? At the end of the day, we're
Yeah.
presenting also a work.
This is a
So,
work I'm doing with my publisher too, and with my
yes,
art director. So it's become a part of the team, the challenge. It's kind of a team, and the very first feeling of it. So it's me, and it's me, my work, to make sure that we've got enough to make that travel all over that book, and to make sure these people are going to go outside of that book and to create their own story, own dialogue, and own way to read it. So that's my work.
I guess that another thing that I read is you have this key word called observe. You're inviting people to observe. And I think that is so important nowadays, to invite everybody, not just children, but we as an adults, to pause, to breathe, to take a moment, to snap a picture, appreciate things that are so simple, that they are in front of our eyes every day, and that
Yeah,
the technology is pulling us away. Children are playing with apps, with games. Uh, Adults, we are reading either a physical book or ebooks. We get busy, and I think that especially in this career, and also as a personal note, breathing, pausing, appreciating, observing is a key,
and understanding too,
and studying.
because understanding, because we take everything for granted.
Yes. Yes.
And I love. You remind me a book by Richard Scarry, an old book, and it's called like "What Are Doing People All Day Long."
Yes.
Because you can really see the children, they don't know what their parents are doing. It's
Yes.
crazy. It's
Yes.
crazy. You take 100 children and you will see 80 of them will not be able to say what their parents are doing.
Yeah.
And also the world of work is not going into school. That's maybe I use this kind of. I never thought about that, but when we are doing an ideal exhibition with a group, I use the word factory. We are working, and
Yes.
it's a factory, and we are going to create tons of paper. That the material we're going. So there is a group, and I started the factory. I use a lot of words about work because we are working, and they love that.
Sure. Sure.
They love that because it's an industry of paper and shape. So and they've got the energy and you can see the rhythm and you can see the group and you can see they put the paper here and there and they've got their own big responsibility. They are on their own, and because the group, the community is started to engage, and I love that, and they are working, and I love that work, and we are in a factory, and they are my workers, they are my brushes, and I'm the boss. I'm the boss, but the boss will never ask to do it. No, I will ask to do it bigger or to do it smaller or to do it more. I say more. I want, okay, it's good. You're going, okay, it's very good. But do it more. I want more. I want more on it. Or I want, it's good. I want more the same one or more but in blue or whatever. And they are working, but they are understanding what they are doing.
That's great. That is, reinforcing in a very positive way high expectations. Go above and beyond, right?
And
So that
and
is
I myself as the boss, you know,
yes.
that's a selfish part of it because I am ambitious and I want to create that show and I
That's
want to create
fantastic.
that exhibition.
Yes,
So I don't want to take care of them. I mean, of course, I take care of them, but in a
yeah,
way, I don't want to take. I want to take care of everybody in
yes,
the same in the same way, and we are going to do something
definitely.
ambitious and
That's
big.
also called critical thinking. You have to have excellent skills as a boss to grow your team, to acknowledge, what they bring to the table. And there's a Chinese phrase that my father used to teach me every single day. He would remind me about that the most important lesson is not to have the fish in your hands, but to know how to catch the fish. So if you know how to catch the fish, you can, definitely be self sufficient and still have those, high expectations that starts from yourself because you want to excel. And there's nothing wrong by being ambitious. There's nothing absolutely wrong to be ambitious. So I have a person here, Flavia. She wants to ask you a question. So Flavia, you are more than welcome to open your microphone and you can ask your question.
Thank you, Yvette. Bonjour, Herve Tullet. It's a great pleasure. C'est un plaisir. What I would like to know is well, I have many questions, actually. So I would like to know what are the artists who inspire you at the moment, because I think that over the time you probably have had many inspirations, but who is inspiring you at this time, at this moment? And you told us that you're now you have new obsessions. So what are your new obsessions and what you are if you are
Uh,
creating anything at this time, and what are you doing? I've been watching a lot your videos, which are great. They're really, really
yes.
nice, and I would like to know if if they will end up in a book, because I hear a lot children saying that they are bored. I'm bored. I'm bored, and I'm always trying to catch them and bring them out of boredom, or what they can do with boredom. So I love your videos because you really make us think about this, and I'd like to know if it will become if it will turn into a new book.
Okay. Okay. So inspiration, I would say, maybe the first that come in mind is Jean Dubuffet, not as artist himself, but more about this raw art, the way about his life, how he come up to. I mean, yes, the artist a little bit, but even more the way that he opened the art world to the raw art and to the children art. So that's otherwise I love conceptual art because I love installation and I love to be involved with my body surrounded by shapes and so on. So I love art that I used to say that I don't like a drawing on a wall. That's something difficult for me, even for my own drawings. I don't want to see my drawing on a wall. And when I'm looking at a drawing on a wall, which means there is colors and there is line and there is, I don't know, it's figurative or it's abstract. Usually, I may like it because it has been done in the 50s, but
Mm-hmm.
today I need something more engaging into the space.
Nice.
And so it's become to the space, maybe it's become to what where I'm going. I mean, I started with a book, and there is a workshop, and there is the ideal exhibition, and the ideal exhibition is so deep. There is so many things to be done with the ideal exhibition. So, uh, so the one I was planned last summer, and so now it's planned next summer in the United States, and it's a very very big space and very big space, and all the communities, all the city will be involved, and everybody will come and create their own ideal exhibition in that space with means of a museum. It would be really interesting. So this is one of the development by the exhibition. I hope I will be able one day, and I think because I just come back to France right now, so I hope I will create a foundation. So I will create something, a space, my own space, to gather all the experiences related to art, related to teachers, related to. In the United States, we are working on a some people it's done, it's created, we are working on a curriculum, so it's a start of a pedagogy of freedom, but still a pedagogy. And so we are working on it, so with the curriculum, with the ideal exhibition, with my books, with the original drawings, with all these ambassadors that are working, with the possibility to ask an artist to create his own ideal exhibition. And so there's a lot of possibilities. And I hope I will find a way to gather all these experiences since now almost 30 years in one space that will be physically somewhere, but will be able to be extended to the different countries that are sharing my books.
Great, thank you. There was a last one I forgot.
Yeah.
If you're familiar with any Brazilian artist, or if you
Oh, I
know
love
or
that.
appreciate any work.
I love one, but I I don't know how to pronounce his name. But I discovered him in New York in Eliotico.
Oiticica, Hélio Oiticica. Okay,
It's
great.
fantastic. And
Uh,
there were a retrospective at the Whitney Museum, and I discovered him. And one of the piece I love was Hammock, and we were just invited to stay
to
in
lead
the
the-
hammock and to listen to music, and it was just like one of kind of piece I may like because it seems very simple, uh, but uh,
Yes,
but it says a lot, and I love his art.
great.
I love his graphic art. I love his life. I mean, he's been living in New York. He escaped Brazil from the dictator,
Dictature.
and he was fired. And I mean, it was and I follow some stuff with lettrists playing with letters, but in 3D dimension. So yeah, I've seen some Brazilian music, but I have to say that I'm listening a lot to Brazilian music.
Okay. If you ever have the chance, please come to visit Inhotim, which is a contemporary art with lots of experiences. It's a park. It's a huge park,
Okay.
and
Inoti.
Inhotim. I will write this here
Okay.
to you because it's
Okay.
hard to
Yeah.
spell.
Okay.
Bon, merci beaucoup. Hein?
Merci à vous. Merci à vous.
Thank you, Flavia.
Thank you.
That's
I
great.
thank you, Yvette,
No,
for
thank
this.
you, thank you. Okay, so let me ask you one more question. We're almost at the end of our interview, but I still have just two more questions, Herb. One of them is actually an observation that I also read. It says this is from your site, and let's see here. Let me see. From the Ideal exhibition, it says the power of creation. More and more, we see beautiful artwork, far from reaching and fully understanding a child's mind, soul, and them themselves identify with the illustration. I I have the same thoughts. I have been saying that for a long time, especially not for a long time, that's not true, but I have been saying that at least for 2 years that I have been able to travel to international book fairs, having a flavor worldwide of what is out there in the market. Yes, I agree. We have beautiful artwork, and sometimes that artwork it's more coming from an adult perspective point of view that we like that work and we want to buy that book that is offered as a picture book for children, but not necessarily is for children. It's actually for us adults. Is that a trend that is going on? Is it like where we put in balance what we are truly authentic drawing, or are we drawing because we want to feed the market? We want to please the market, and that is very important for me to understand, because I like simple images, bright colors, primary colors, simple designs, because that I know that reach the child's heart. I know that the child identify 100% with that picture. And when I see these beautiful, amazing picture books, I question, are we feeding the market what they want, or are we feeding the critique groups what they want to critique? Is it money, or is it heart on our work that we are concerned? I don't know, what are your thoughts about this?
I have no I've no thought about the market because I'm not interested in children books. I have to say, I'm not I'm that's a selfish part of it. And when I'm in a bookshop and looking at children book, I mean, I guess there is some beautiful and wonderful and clever and smart children book. I no doubt about that, and some. But this is not where I feel happy. I feel happy with an opera. I feel happy with when I'm looking at dance, so choreography. I feel happy in a museum. I feel happy when I'm looking a movie, and I feel happy with children. That for sure. But my vibration of obsession are not related to the children book world. This is not a part of my life, I have to say. And I try to escape because I feel that I'm more ambitious for the children than the market. And when I'm talking about I mean, I can say since few years, I can say I'm an artist. So the path I took to become an artist, it's through books and children. But uh, I'm I'm not recognized by the art world because I'm still, for a lot of people, a children book author or illustrator or whatever. Uh, and also because I don't work on that. I'm not going to say to everybody, "Hey, I'm an artist," but um, uh, I work on my art, and my art includes books, include people, and include gesture, and my art is not the result. My art is what I give, is what I convey. My art in Albright Knox in Buffalo, it's a major museum in United States, but my art, it's not my art. My art is what is going to happen when the people will come and will see some pieces and will feel for real, because I have seen that so many times that they are going to create, and they are going to create their own art. When I'm doing a performance like a 1 hour ideal exhibition, I give some tools, 2, 3 gestures, and so on. I'm so surprised people don't listen to me. They are going beyond. They are going far away. And this is what I want. This is my art. My art is not to follow me. My art is to get a feeling for me, a start, and then they are going where they are going, and it do not belong to me. And this is what I need, because I need that surprise coming back to me. And I'm happy not because they are doing what they are doing. Sometimes they are doing exactly what they are doing, and I'm less happy when I'm doing a workshop with adults. It's much more difficult.
Yes.
Because I say a dot and they say a dot. I say a big circle and they say they are doing a big circle, and it's just like so like what they think children must do, but children, they are not doing what I say. But when I'm doing this kind of ideal exhibition in 1 hour, I mean, people, I mean, it happened to adults too, of course, but it's less scholar with children, and it's more scholar with adults. And that's why there's so many ideal exhibitions without me, and that's really the beauty of it. It's because it doesn't belong to me. And this is my art. And so many people talked about art for everybody. Okay, so I'm not very identified as an artist by the art world. Maybe, probably a little bit, but not that much. But I have to say that I'm happy by my art.
No, definitely. We know. We can see that. We can definitely.
Because it's really art for everybody, and it's a beautiful art, and the result is just crazy. And if you are ambitious, and
There you go. There you go. No, it's funny that you're saying that you try to escape or you actually escape because it would be, it's almost like contagious. Trends are
yeah,
contagious, you know, and it's, you don't want to, you know, there's sometimes that honestly, I take a break of Instagram because it can be very overwhelming. It's an amazing tool for me as a publisher to find artists, but I also love to draw. And sometimes I try to escape to don't be contagious and follow a trend and, you know, experiment and have fun. And art is something that is joy, that brings joy to the table. And you said something, you know, very important that I have read before, that you are not, you don't see yourself as an illustrator or author of picture books. You are unique with what you offer. And you created this interesting name called graphic vocabulary to define your work as being graphic vocabulary, which is very rich, which is, you know, again, is outside the box, accomplishing something these days and always, you know, that thought of outside the box, flexible thinking, which is what I believe in. Have a flexible thinking. Adaptability is also important, but you have to be flexible, then you can create. So, you know, this is very cool, very nice. And one of the things that I wanted to say is that also I took a note just real quickly that you said something very important, that you remembered a title of a book, or a book that said what are we doing, or how we're spending our time, something like that. And
what are doing people? Or what are doing people all day long?
Exactly, what are people doing all day long? And
when you write a letter, what is happening to that letter?
Exactly. And you know what it brought me? It brought me a picture in my mind of talking about the pandemic and connecting it with this time more than ever. Our children are seeing, what do we do all day? Because we're working from home. They can start to understand what is mommy or daddy doing, you know, because I'm in the school, I don't have no idea. And it's a very beautiful gift in a way to see also from our adult perspective what our children are doing all day because they were at home. And oh my God, this is, you know, we in every single problem there's a solution, right? And there's an opportunity. And crisis, the word crisis means opportunity, and we have to see these also. We have to count our blessings, and this is one of the beautiful blessings that we have, spent more time with our children at home. You know, many parents are going to think twice to go back and work outside the house. Others are going to be happy and they're not waiting, you know, they're looking forward to go and work outside because probably they cannot deal, you know, working at home, too many interruptions or too many, you know, distractions. But anyway, so Herve, I could talk with you in France, in Paris, in a coffee shop for hours. and I hope that one day I can do that and my dream can come true, or you can come to Brazil. It would be lovely if I can find a way how to invite you.
Find an opportunity. I will very
definitely. We would love you to come here, and you know, the coffee can be in Paris or in here in Sao Paulo.
Inhotim.
Where Flavia? Or
Inhotim, next to Belo Horizonte.
Great.
Okay.
Yeah. So thank you so much for this wonderful time that you gave us. that you kindly accept this invitation. It was a pleasure. Thank you to everyone that
Thank
is
you for the
here
question.
with us.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you, and our heart is here for you. And Flavia is showing a book of O Buraco, o libro ¿qué, Flavia? ¿Cuál es su título del libro? ¿O libro ten un buraco? ¿O libro con un buraco?
Con buraco.
Yeah, beautiful. So thank you everyone that was here. And thank you so much to everyone. Merci beaucoup. Merci beaucoup. Au revoir.
Ciao, ciao.